All right, let's talk about AI in the classroom. Because, it's not some sci-fi movie anymore. It's here, and it's rolling out way faster than anyone really thought it would. And that leaves us with this huge question, right? Is this the single biggest upgrade education has ever seen? Or is it a huge risk we are just not ready for? Let's get into it.
Okay, to really get what's at stake here, just look at this finding from a study by some Harvard lecturers. I mean, this is staggering. Students who had an AI tutor, they learned more than double the material in less time. Think about that. That's not a tiny little bump. That's a revolutionary claim. And it forces us to ask a pretty uncomfortable question.
So, yeah, are human teachers about to become obsolete? I know it's a provocative question, but it's really the heart of this whole debate. To even begin to answer it, we've got to look at both sides of the coin, the incredible promise and the very real peril of putting AI in our schools.
Okay, so let's start with the promise, the utopian vision, if you will. For decades, educators have been chasing this holy grail, a truly personalized education, one that's perfectly tailored to every single student. Well, AI is promising to finally deliver that, and not just for a few kids, but at a massive scale.
This idea of personalized learning, it actually solves a problem that's been around since the 80s. It's called Bloom's 2 sigma problem. And what it basically says is that one-on-one tutoring is like a superpower for learning. Research showed it can take an average student, someone right in the middle of the pack at the 50th percentile, and boost them all the way up to the 98th percentile. That's just incredible. The only problem? It's always been way too expensive and completely impractical to give every single kid their own private tutor. But maybe that's about to change.
And this is exactly where AI tutors come in. For students? Oh, it's a total game changer. You can learn at your own speed, not the speed of the rest of the class. You can ask that question you think is stupid 100 times without feeling judged. It's got infinite patience. And what about the teachers? Well, the AI can handle all the boring, tedious stuff, the lesson planning, the paperwork. That frees them up to do the stuff that really matters, actually connecting with students one-on-one and inspiring them.
And what's really wild is how we even interact with this tech is changing. We're moving past just typing on a keyboard and clicking a mouse. Now with AI, you can talk to your learning tools, you can draw, you can have a real back-and-forth conversation. It just makes the whole process so much more natural. But, and this is a big but, this powerful new world comes with some very serious strings attached. Yeah, because for every amazing new feature, it feels like a Pandora's box of risks just flies open. We're talking about really serious stuff here. Student privacy, hidden biases in the algorithms, and a whole tangle of laws that were written long before anyone was thinking about AI tutors. So, let's break down this legal minefield. You've got FERPA, which is all about student privacy. Well, how does that hold up when AI models are being trained on tons of sensitive student data? Then there's Title VI, a major civil rights law. What happens if an AI, trained on biased data, starts steering kids of a certain race away from certain opportunities? And then you have laws for students with disabilities or for protecting kids under 13. All of them are being pushed to their absolute limits by this new technology. And this right here is the core of the problem. It's a paradox. To get that amazing, super personalized learning experience, the AI needs to know a lot about a student. What they're good at, where they struggle, what they like. But the more data it collects, the bigger the privacy risk becomes. It's this fundamental trade-off, and there's no easy answer. It's a tightrope that schools and parents have to walk.
At the end of the day, it really boils down to this powerful quote from the U.S. Department of Education. You can have the fanciest, most powerful tech on the planet, but if parents and teachers don't trust it, it's dead in the water. It's just not going to work. So the real question becomes, how on earth do we build that trust?
Well, the answer, and it's pretty consistent coming from experts, is actually pretty simple. You manage the machine by keeping humans firmly in the driver's seat. The point isn't to replace people, it's to augment them, to give them superpowers. And this framework really shows you what that looks like. See, students and teachers are right there, smack in the middle. The tech is supposed to serve them, not the other way around. And then you build these critical guardrails all around them, things like data security, fairness, making sure it's transparent, and, this is the big one, always having human oversight.
And I just love this metaphor they use because it makes everything so clear. The goal is not a robot vacuum, something you just switch on and let it do its thing automatically. No. The goal is an electric bike. The teacher is still the one pedaling, still steering, still totally in control. The AI is just that little electric boost that makes the hills easier and lets them go a whole lot further, a whole lot faster.
But of course, an electric bike is pretty useless if you don't know how to ride it, right? So for this whole human-in-the-loop idea to work, we've got to make sure our teachers are actually ready for this new world.
And that all comes down to a brand new skill set called AI literacy. And look, this is way more than just knowing which buttons to click on an app. It's about thinking critically. It's about knowing the limits of these tools, being able to spot when they might be biased, and figuring out how to use them in a way that's both effective and ethical. Honestly, this is a skill we all need now, not just teachers.
And here's the really encouraging part. We know how to teach this stuff. Check out the data from this professional development program for teachers. Before the training, you can see their confidence in using AI in the classroom was, well, kind of low, about a 2.9 out of 5. But look what happens after the training. It shoots up to a 4.2. So what does that tell us? It tells us that this works. Good training builds the confidence teachers need to actually use these tools well.
So really, this is what it all boils down to. We're standing at a fork in the road. Down one path, AI is seen as a replacement. The focus is all on automation, on efficiency above all else. Down the other path, AI is a tool. The focus is on augmentation, on giving teachers more power and control. It's the robot vacuum versus the electric bike.
And let's be crystal clear. This isn't a debate about the future. The technology is already here. It's in colleges, and it's quickly moving into every grade level. So the question isn't if we're going to use AI in schools. That ship has sailed. The real question, the one that truly matters, is how. How are we, all of us, going to shape this? How will we build the right guardrails to make sure it becomes a force that empowers teachers instead of replacing the irreplaceable human connection that's at the heart of learning?